What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of GazerForged. Joined by my brother Star Wars nerd over here. Oh, that way. There we go. And then down below, we got Mr. GazerForged. How's it going? We already have 7 people in here. We got Toy Boys in here. What is up? We got Josiah Bra. Good to see you.
Nice.
Good to see you. Hey, welcome. Let ICCC cook. I love it.
Yes,
I love this. We got Outpost. Welcome, Outpost. Let's see, Cam the Movie Man. I've been patiently waiting for this. Let's go. Here we go. We got the Purple Jedi in the house. And Darth Christensen. Hello there, my guys.
Hello there.
So let's bring the creator of ICCC in right away, and we'll talk to him as we get things going. Mr. Michael Havens, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being on. We are super excited about this news and the opportunity we have to announce it. Nice cup.
Thanks. That's from a few years ago, ICCC. It actually color changes. Here, check it out.
Whoa, that's sweet.
Oh, that's
I love
cool,
it.
Right? Did you remember Hypercolor from back in the day? I don't know.
I do.
But yeah, it was a cup from, I think, 2 ago or 3 ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. I like that. Appreciate all 11 of you in here. We are going to kind of let people get in here and announce the news here shortly of we have a new guest for ICCC, and we are going to announce it here shortly. Guys, this is huge. So don't want to miss
If
this.
anyone's wondering the way to get a guest star announcement from me, well, you can always ask, which is fine. I love being on podcasts, but you can just figure it out on your own and write me and be like, hey, Mike, I heard you got this guy. Do you think we can announce it on our show? And I'll say, yes, that's very strange that you found that out, but okay. So just so you know, these guys are breaking news legit because I didn't tell nobody.
Mattween in the house. Welcome, Mattween. I love these clever names that people have. This is great. Rogue Sarge. Hey, folks. Welcome all 17 of you in here. Wow, this is crazy.
Yes.
I was just on that other podcast with that Jawa guy there, Mattween.
Mattween, sweet.
Just like
heck yeah.
10 minutes ago. I just saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, yeah, so this one, yeah, we found out ourselves. I was actually the first one to find out, and then I messaged the guys here, and I'm like, hey, Michael, here's the clip. Can we announce this?
Yeah.
And he was nice enough to be like, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Awesome.
But yeah. Mike Outpost says, Michael, hey brother, I'm not 100% sure I'm going, but thank you for the military discount on tickets. We appreciate you, sir.
We appreciate you, man. You let us stay home and play toys. So, yes, we have the highest military, first responder, veteran, and active duty discount in the convention world. I don't even know if any other conventions do it, but we do 25%. So it's no joke. That's even on VIP.
Heck yeah. We got Star Wars Sith in the building, Mr. Tony himself. Hello there.
Shout out, Tony. How you doing, bud?
Stephen Hopwood. Good evening, everyone. Can't wait till ICCC Part 7. I love it.
Hopwood.
Let's see. I'll definitely be flying out to see Timothy Zahn at this con and talk Thrawn with him. Nice.
Well, Timothy Zahn's been a lot of times, so he's not coming this year. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I've had him 5 times, guys. I got to switch it up. I love Timothy Zahn too, but the people can only get so many of the same book signed, you know.
So we want to talk about this with you guys. So we're just gonna go ahead, I think, and announce this. We got 20 of you in here, and it's looking good. So here is our next guest for ICCC. Buckle up. Are you guys ready? Type 1 if you're ready. Type 1. Come on, guys. Spam the 1. Let's see it. Spam it. There we go. Spam it. Yeah. Hey, there you go, Mr. Nerd. Thanks. Mr. Nerd is spamming it. Here we go. All right. Our guest this year, one of our guests is Mr. Roger Christian. Mr. Roger Christian is going to be here. We're super excited. Wait, what? What in the world is this? Hold on a minute. Hey, Mr. Roger Christian. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Great to be here.
Great to have you. We're super excited.
This is awesome.
Me too.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Roger Christian, he designed pretty much everything, lightsabers and droids alike. So I'm very excited to have you, sir. We met up in Ontario there. May the North be with you.
We
And
did.
I said, I gave you my card. I gave you a coin. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get you down to Nashville one of these days. So I'm glad it worked out.
Here we are. No, it's great. And it's here we've got 20 inches of snow. So I'm dreaming of being down there.
Ooh.
I was wearing shorts today, so I'm sorry.
I was wearing short sleeves and light pants today. Yeah, I was.
Oh, there you go.
It's the warmest it's been in Ohio in months. So
That's crazy. So yeah, I was for those of you might have seen a couple days ago, Theory had posted like a 5-minute video just kind of talking about everything that he's got going on here. And I noticed he quickly mentioned Mr. Roger Christian coming with him to ICCC, and I was like, wait a minute, Michael. And so Michael was like, oh man, I didn't even get a chance to do anything with his like picture or anything yet. So
yeah, I didn't even make the graphic yet. They already found out before I even made the graphic.
It was awesome. So, and then Mr. GazerForged reached out to Mr. Christian here, and he was gracious enough to join us. So
really appreciate it.
Yeah. It's all in a good cause for the Force.
Yes. And I know, Roger, you were saying before the stream here that you're excited just to kind of hang out with Nia for the weekend.
Yeah, because we never get a chance to. But now this is it'll be great, you know. And I hope I can do a Q&A with him or something. We can do something together because I think it'll be fun. We're kindred spirits.
Yes,
I'm sure we could set up something like that, man. I'll talk to my guy David Longwater there, my MC, and I'm sure he can squeeze in something for sure.
It might be cool, you know. The two of us, and he's got queues of fans coming as well. So you know, we're very like-minded on all of Star Wars. So I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
I would
absolutely.
smoking a cigar. That's the only thing.
Which is why I feel like we'll all get along, because we're all very like-minded when it comes to the way Star Wars Theory sees Star Wars. So yeah. So I'm super excited, and he did give us a hint of your new origin saber that you guys are working on. The guy that has some trouble breathing. So I know you guys are working together, and you guys have been. We're super excited for that. It's really cool to see the original creators of the Star Wars that we all love and enjoy come together with like new blood, so to speak, and create these things that we love so much.
I figure it's my duty, you know, and it's also, I'm more and more now doing this, and my elder son just said it's so pleasing to him to see me sketching stuff out again and doing all of this. And just the simple reason, and I'll explain that what I did just then, when I directed Second Unit on Return of the Jedi, I noticed Darth Vader's lightsaber. They'd just gone and got Obi-Wan Kenobi's and taken the vanes off the machine gun part. That's it, and gave it to him. I could never rest if I'd ever done that. And I just feel that he's the greatest villain in the history of cinema who's loved by anybody. And look at that iconic look. I think he deserves a lightsaber that he would have found a crystal and forged himself. And so that was my work over the last kind of 2 months, working out the canon and all of the things that would go behind it, and then trying to make something that would justify it. And also that the very first time anyone's ever saw Darth Vader was a Ralph McQuarrie painting where he's got a lightsaber in his hand, and you can't see it, his hand's so big, but just the ends. So the two ends matched that one.
That's sweet.
Nice.
So it's fun. And you wait till the third one that we decided to do. I can't say anything about that, but you wait.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I'm excited.
Getting some love in here. Cam the movie man says, "Can't wait to meet you, Roger."
I'll be there.
Heck yeah.
And, it's always such a fun, you know. And it's. I have to say, the reason George made all of his movies were for families. And every convention I go to, I get families. I get mothers and daughters, mothers and sons, fathers and sons, fathers and daughters. They're all coming together. And George has given the entire planet something that was missing and really needed, and needed now more than ever, whereby there's a communication between kids and their parents.
Yeah.
And he's done it, because there's the living proof of it. So it's a lot of the reason why I support this so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. Mr. Star Wars Sith says, Roger, thank you for doing these conventions to give us a chance to meet you.
Well, it's what it's all about. I mean, in the end of the day, whatever Disney thinks or anybody else, it's the fans who made Star Wars.
Yeah.
George made it for the fans to enjoy, but they're the ones who've embraced it. And this is global. It's never happened before in cinema, and it won't ever happen again. I'm absolutely convinced the timing was just a moment of destiny that made it happen the way that it did. And I think it only got made because we had so little money to make it, and just the few of us decided we were going to do it when we shouldn't have done it because it couldn't be done, but we did it. So I think that moment in history has created something just amazing for the world, I think, anyway. And it's, I have people coming, and then people, and they saw the lightsaber, they're crying, and everyone has a story, and every fan I've ever met anywhere in any convention, anything, said thank you, you helped me during my childhood, or you helped me growing up, or you gave me something. And this is something to take seriously,
Yeah, absolutely. And we're really appreciative that not only are you taking the time here, but you're taking the time, like we said, to go to these conventions and to talk to fans and to tell the story, to keep it alive. Because, I mean, the state that we're in right now, like it's cool to be able to hang on to what's been so just how do I want to say this, like just a part of our lives, so solid part of our lives. It's really cool, and we really appreciate you, Roger.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's interesting, like, because George is hidden away. I've kind of been hidden away for a long time as well. And then I was forced to write the book, Cinema Alchemist by David West Reynolds, because he said there's nobody else knows any of these stories. There's nobody. So you've got to get out there and tell it. So I'm enjoying it, and I'm still making movies, but to get finance these days is just so horrible and difficult to make anything you want to make, not be sitting in a mouse wheel in Hollywood. Running around in circles.
You should try getting financing for a non-corporate convention, brother.
No, we're in the same boat. So I can do this now, and I can work from home, and we're just going to build the whole thing now into something much bigger than that. So it's interesting because my elder son, who's a real fanatic as well, said, I think we have to have you have to have a forge in wherever you are, whether it's Canada or everywhere. So he said, we're going to set you up as a forge, and then you'll be making all this stuff. So yeah, that'll be quite interesting, I think. For me, it is anyway. It's like a whole new creative kind of new experience for me which is something that I really love. So and that's why Nia and I share that kind of love about what we do. Yeah.
Josiah Bra says, you're a legend, sir. Thank you for bringing your creativity to life.
Yep, and I'm going to do it now as much as I can, because I know I'm a fan, so I know what I want, and that's what I think is the way to do it, and Nia is such a huge Star Wars nerd and fan, and he's honest about it. You just like him and you believe him and everything that he's saying, and he just says it from the heart. So I think we're both very similar like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're gonna absolutely love this convention. You're gonna love it.
I know, I've been told that. So
it's so exactly everything you're talking about. A major tentpole has always been the original creators coming in and sharing their stories with the fans and stuff like that, whether it be the toys or folks like you. We had Bill William Wesley once. I was second unit director on Empire. But yeah, we love it, man. And the stories you guys tell because you were there, you know,
Yes.
and we don't get those stories in books or in podcasts or anything like that because it's always third hand or fourth hand. So it's just incredible just hearing you guys talk about whatever your job was, you know what I mean? And it's really neat. So
Yeah,
you could have a much less interesting job, let's say.
yeah. Well, I like it because it's mentoring, you know, and if we inspire somebody to go and do something, then we've done our work properly, you know, and we all need mentors. You all need an Obi-Wan Kenobi. So
Yes.
Yes.
that's kind of our duty as well now to impart all this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Steven wants to know, will your son be traveling with you by chance since he's a huge fan?
I don't think he will because he's the older one who's here. He's working for Deloitte, and I think he's just been promoted to head of events for the major owners of Deloitte. So I don't
Congrats to
think
him.
he'll get away.
Yeah.
But my younger one who's 11,
Okay.
who every convention and fan event thinks he's landed in paradise. And there's every Star Wars he's got so many lightsabers, it's insane. And he's Pokemon, he's got all of these different things. So he's going around and like he comes running to me and he said, Dad, you've got to come here. You've got to meet this guy now. He's a YouTuber. He's got 2 million followers. And then and he wants to meet you. He knows them all. That's how I met Hacksmith.
Okay.
And then I've met so many of them through him. So yeah, he I don't know if I don't think he can come on this one because
Okay.
school and all those things, you know, he's missed a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah,
but he has been with me to America
that's awesome.
twice so far.
So how, since you and Theory now are going to be together at ICCC, you guys have been collaborating at Origin Sabers and stuff. Like, how did you two end up coming together? Like, what's the story there? How you two met?
I was a fan of his videos, and I was watching stuff because he tells it like it is. And then one day I watched him in his car in agony saying, I can't see, my eye is gone, I don't know what's happened. And he was really, I could see, in trouble. So I emailed him through either through, I think, Instagram or one of them where I could go through to him.
Yeah.
And said, look, I had a macular hole and I had it operated on. So I said, this is what you've got to do. You've got to take lutein. Don't listen to anybody else. Take lutein, which is the natural promoter on eye health and things like that. So he went through all of that. And then we spoke. So I gave him lots of advice on what to do and all of these things. And his was a retina detached.
Ooh.
And then through that, we became friends through that. And then he said, wow, we got to do a podcast with you. So then we did that hour-and-a-half one, which was fairly
Great
major
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he just gently said, you should really now be doing a saber. Could we do an Origin saber? And I said, I don't know. I've never been asked, but what a good idea. So that was it. We joined forces and we partnered up. And so we decided to make Origin sabers. So there's 4 or 5 Origins that we can do. And we're not bound. I'm okay with Lucasfilm. I can do whatever I like. I'm still part of the family. And I think you've seen, George never does anything Star Wars anymore. And when they decided to republish Cinema Alchemist in January, February, they said, we want to juice it up a bit. And do you think we could get somebody to do a forward for it? We know George doesn't do anything and Ridley's too busy. We won't get him. Yeah. And I thought I'd get Guillermo del Toro to do it because he's a friend. And I thought, you know what, screw this. I've never asked George for anything. So I just asked and immediately came back and said, I want to do this and I want to give you a blurb for the cover. And it's the only thing he's done in years. And so it kind of inspired me back into that, what I think he's amazing talent, George, and I've spent so much time with him, and he's a very simple, you'd never see social media about him, and he and I are common like that. We've kept away from it all. We both have an absolute passion for Kurosawa and Sergio Leone's westerns and things like that. So there's a lot of kind of common ground between us. And you know, for him to saying at the end of this forward, he says, you know, more than all of this, Roger still remained a very good friend. And so it inspired me that I should now, you know, I'm okay now to go and do what I'm doing. And Nia and I very carefully avoid any triggers of Disney. That's all. But I think that's all going to change now.
Yeah. I think a little bit. And that's been crazy to see, because like, you know, we got like I said, I was able to put the Theory team in touch with Michael, and we were able to put that together. They were able to, you know, hey, we're going to ICCC. Michael put it up on Instagram, and the amount of hate that he's gotten is absolutely insane. And like, not just Michael, but Theory and everyone. And it's been just crazy to see. And it's like, guys, like it's a, like Michael explains it, like he has to call it a con, but it's a big sleepover for all of his nerd friends. Like, we're just going to have fun and enjoy a part of our lives that's been there for forever. Can't we just calm down a little bit?
Yeah.
Like,
but Star Wars isn't about fighting or infighting or anything like that. It's supposed to be an escape from our reality.
Exactly.
Dreams and stuff like that. And that's all we try to do at ICCC, man. So yes, if you're feeling like asking George Lucas extra stuff, I mean, I could definitely make space for him if it comes up.
Right, yeah. If you want to bring a special guest for that Q&A, you know, just say
yeah. But I mean, with Nia, if you saw the Orlando, there was queues around the whole building and outside the doors for just go and meet him. So yeah, there's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love.
There is. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen now with ICCC is you're going to see lines wrapped around the building to see them, in spite of, you know what I mean? So
well, it's wonderful. It's very much we're very much kindred spirits as far as no one owns us as far as the corporations or Disney or anything like that. We try to avoid ticking them off because we want them to make more Star Wars. But there is no corporation here. It's just a bunch of nerds. Yeah. So you're gonna love it, man. Everyone's gonna know everything you're talking about and completely understand it. So it's gonna be really nice.
No, I could tell that having met you up there, I could tell that this would be an interesting one, because I said then to you, I'd be really keen to do that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, brother. I do, and it's gonna be great. Yeah, and you're gonna love it because it fits in perfectly. You're gonna be super happy.
Yeah.
And we're
plus, we have warmth here for you, so I've got that going
for you too. Star Wars Sith says he was running his Theory's queue at MegaCon. It was like 4 to 6 hours of lines every day for Nia. So
yeah, and I said to Nia, you know, you've got to get used to it now. You're actually a celebrity, because he's always hidden behind the podcast. He said, "No, I'm not a celebrity. I don't endorse any of that stuff. I'm not that." And I said, "Brother, get used to it."
Yeah.
People love you, and they want to meet you, and they want to hear you and talk to you, you know, and it's a big thing for fans.
Yeah. I always felt like Theories, like, you know, when you're in battle and things are starting to go poorly, you know, and you have that one guy that like stands up and on top of the mountain, he's got the flag and he's like, "Let's go." You know, I felt like Theory was kind of that guy when things started to kind of get crummy with Star Wars. He was kind of that guy with the flag on the hill, like, "Let's go," you know?
And it's said from the heart. It's said from what everybody's thinking, actually. So I like him. I told him, I said, "You're the Obi-Wan Kenobi of podcasters."
Yes.
I like that.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
So when you design those sabers and stuff, are you sending them in like sketches and drawings or stuff? Or are they kind of working with you and an artist to kind of like, okay, this is kind of what I'm thinking?
It's a learning curve for them, because they, you know, China, Star Wars is not that big in China. You know, it's not had that deep history. There aren't the fans there, same as India. So they're manufacturers. And so I drew out, took ages, and I've sent quite a few, but I got the final one, how it should be. And then I'm sending textures out to them and different things like that. And they came back with a design that they'd done, because that's what they always do. They didn't understand that I've got I'm designing
Right.
it because they don't know. They don't know the kind of legendary status behind the lightsabers and stuff like that. So it's a learning curve for them more than me. So I'm doing endless WhatsApp kind of explanations of how we do it and all of this. So we'll get there. So, and I may try to get an artist to paint it for me so that I get somebody who can really do it well. We'll see,
cool.
but we're getting there now. Yeah.
That's cool.
And
I'm
I've got
super excited to see that.
Yeah, I just want it. It's got to be very stand out. It can't be like the others. So it's you know, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
That's like the first one. You know, I mean, it's there's no reference. There was nothing to go on.
Yeah.
And that's what George says in the forward. He said, "I still remember the day Roger came in with an old battery handle and showed me a lightsaber." And then he said, "Yeah, that was probably one of 15 things he was doing that day that I was relying on instinct and what I thought would work. That's all. There was no reference. There was nothing to go to. You couldn't open a book and say, could it be like this? No, that was just, for me, it was like sheer joy."
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to see not necessarily the same process, but with like Nia and you and Nia. And I know he said he's been working with Nick Gillard on some lightsabers. Like, that's really cool that like it's almost like that process all over again where you guys are creating this new generation, so to speak, of these lightsabers. It's really cool.
Yeah, and but they're harping back to the origins.
Right.
That's why I called mine Origin Sabers. Yeah, Nick, because on Phantom Menace I did a lot of work with Nick. A lot.
Yeah.
I did a lot of the fights, and he's brilliant. Just and he's missed. You know, they should.
Yeah.
Nia keeps saying, "Why don't you hire Nick Gillard back?"
100%. That dude's choreography with lightsaber fights are out of this world. They're so good.
They are.
And it's like I said when I interviewed you, like as far as like a Star Wars Mount Rushmore goes, it would be George, yourself, Nick, and then Roger McQuarrie's like art. Like that kind of makes up everything that kind of sets up Star Wars for you.
Yeah, because that's all we were. You know, there was, I mean, if John Barry was alive, he'd be on all of this, everything, the designer, but, you know, he died very young, and there isn't anyone else. You know, even like Norman Reynolds, who went on, I think was chosen because he was a lieutenant who got things done. He was never the creative element, but he could get things done for Raiders and all of that. So there isn't, he never knew what I did. And I think, you know, they were all suspicious because I was like from art school and hair down my shoulders, you know, and Cuban boots, and I'm always talking about Kurosawa and Bergman, and they would just look down their noses at me, you know, and, "Oh, this is a job, old chap. Get a suit and get a tie," you know.
Yeah.
So
who's this guy?
Yeah, what the hell's he doing with all this scrap? That's not how we do it, old chap. We draw things up and we have a system. I broke the system.
Thank you for breaking the system.
Yes.
Well, I had a director who understood, I have to say, because otherwise I would have been fired after the first 2 guns that I showed him.
Oh, funny.
And have bits stuck on them with super glue, and R2D2, a wooden one with a lamp top on a head, you know, and couldn't walk. It's only because George had made THX, really, and he was such an independent filmmaker that he embraced it, let's say, what we did.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It would never have happened with another American director or British director. I mean, I would have just been fired.
Outpost Treasure Chest says, "A sword of light, a laser sword, a lightsaber, our childhood." Thank you, Mr. Christian.
It was a laser sword. That was in the script. I still don't know how that got changed up to lightsaber. Somebody asked me that once, and I don't know. I think it just was an automatic. One day somebody said it, and it became a lightsaber.
That's awesome. Mr. Christian forever changed empty wrapping paper rolls for the better. I love it. I don't know if you'll recognize it or not, but Mr. Nerd there's got a hat on that I see is in one of your pictures here with.
Oh yes, Jedi, nice one.
Yeah, one of the ones that has got a picture here of your announcement. George is wearing it in Return
Yes.
of the Jedi directing. Yeah, I wanted to bring that out because I thought that's cool.
That's a cool one. Yeah, that's not an original, or is it?
No, it's this company called The Force Awakens Daily. I don't know how well it's showing up. They were running a sale. I don't know if they still make them, but they showed a picture of George with it, and I think it was actually a picture with you in it too. And they're like, "We're running a sale on these hats," and I got it for like $5.
Really?
Wow.
It's like my favorite hat. I wear it every day.
This picture right here, you can see George wearing it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger, I didn't even send that to you. Do you approve of your graphic?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Where is it?
Here, I'll pull it back up here. There we go.
I got to move in close. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I knocked that one out this morning.
Very good. That's pretty cool.
I love it. It's really,
I'll
really
sign
good.
your hat for you when I'm there.
There you go. Heck yeah.
Cool.
There you go, nerd. Get the hat signed. We're all like, we were talking before you popped on, that we were super excited because it's like a full circle moment. You know, you were gracious enough to join Nerd. You're gracious enough to join me on my podcast, and the same for Kyber. And so to have this full circle moment, like the only thing missing now is to meet you. Like, we're so excited to meet you.
Yeah, well, I really enjoy the podcast. I think, you know, they're a chance to meet and spread the word.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm going to do this. You know, you're talking about families and stuff. I'm just gonna. My daughter Cassie, she's a huge fan.
Hi.
You say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So, you know, you talk about bringing families together. Like my daughter, she's the oldest, and I have 3 boys, and they all love Star Wars. And you know, I attribute part of that obviously to, you know, it's the Mount Rushmore, like we talked about, and you're in that, Christian. Like with the lightsaber, my kids love lightsabers. Here's my son James.
Hey, James.
Son. So like we all love Star Wars, and you had a part in that, Christian, and it's awesome. I love it.
Well, the lightsaber, really, it's a sort of light, but I mean, it's actually something that everybody wants. Doesn't matter what age you are. It's George came up with the idea of it. It's genius, a genius idea. You know, it's the Excalibur of the science fiction world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So
well, you made Solo's DL-44 as well, which is no joke. So
yeah,
no, I was just in Los Angeles. I was taken down by an auction house. He's got the missing third one.
Yeah, nice.
Wow.
With full documentation, and that one went from Lucasfilm. It's all documented out to do publicity, because the other, I couldn't afford to make guns or anything, so I rented every weapon. So everything at the end of the shoot went back to Baptist and got broken down. That's why nothing existed. One that was sold, they got Carl Schmidt, who worked at Baptist, who made them work for me after I'd stuck them all together. He made one up for the auction out of the original pieces, but it still was, you know, it was partly used. But this one has escaped, and there was always a missing third that people talked about, used for publicity. They've got it. It's going up for auction, I think, in June or July. So it was amazing for me that they flew me down, and there I am handling one of the original guns. And there's a guy called Todd Coyle he makes replicas of that one Hans blaster. Okay. And he's been to Baptist, he's interviewed everyone, he's seen every single one that has gone up for sale, everything. And he has micro instruments that he measures to know that they're authentic, and he approved it. He said, this is actually an authentic gun.
Wow.
Nice.
It was amazing. And I took my 11-year-old down, and all he wanted to do was go, do you know Cool Kicks? The sneaker craze? That was all he wanted to do. So we had to go to Cool Kicks and buy sneakers. Some of these sneakers, they go in boxes, they're worth thousands and thousands, $30,000. I mean, some of them really insane, but it's a very cool thing. So I had to go and then because then they found out what I did. So we were on the Cool Kids podcast, which my son was just enraptured by.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun stuff, you see.
I told the chat here, and I'll say it live here too, like put some questions in here for Mr. Roger. Darth Christensen wants to know, what was your favorite thing to direct on the set of Phantom Menace?
I loved working with Liam Neeson, I have to say. But no question, it was the fight scenes with Darth Maul. Because I got to do a lot of those with Ewan. And just to see Dave Park in action and Nick with their doing it, and just to see that live and be filming it was really amazing. But I did do one piece that the morning I went in and I got my crew around me and I said, listen, today we are doing something which is so important in Star Wars canon. George had to move on and left the meeting of C-3PO and R2-D2 when they first meet ever.
Yeah.
Together when Anakin's building him. And I got to film all of that. And there's a famous line in it where R2-D2's beeping when C-3PO first sees him and he goes, naked? What do you mean naked?
Yeah. Yes, I love that.
And I tell everyone, Carrie Fisher wrote that line.
Really?
Yeah. She used to come up with lines like that, but that one she wrote for George.
That is awesome.
Yeah, now you know it makes sense. It's very Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
That is wow. That's
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that scene is hilarious. Naked? What do you mean I'm naked? My parts are showing.
So I got to film that.
That's cool. That is
I think
really
probably
cool.
actually, in all truth, I got to film on Return of the Jedi Harrison coming out of the carbon freeze. Because George had to move on and couldn't do it. So I got to shoot that scene of him when he emerges out of it and everything. So I think that's probably my most kind of memorable moment in Star Wars.
Yeah. I love the way too, like when he's like finally gets unfrozen and he kind of like clamps up, like and falls into her arms, like even the sounds.
Harrison Ford was acting his butt off in that scene.
Right? Yeah. My coworker Raven, she wants to know, you've directed many other films. Is the Star Wars franchise your favorite and why?
It's yeah, no question, my favorite, because I love that world, except for Nostradamus, the film that I made on the Nostradamus, the biopic, which is probably my favorite film of all. And I had to make it in Romania right after the revolution, when there was not one piece of food left in the country. My crew got $1 a day. It was the struggle of all time, but I had such amazing actors in it, and it was such a powerful kind of movie to make. I think that stands equal to the thrill of, but being on a Star Wars set, directing actors and directing huge sequences is pretty memorable and amazing. And I thank George for giving me the trust to do it.
Yeah. That is so cool. I love that. What you said you really enjoyed working with Liam Neeson. What's it like working with him? He seems obviously we don't know him, but from what we've seen online, he seems like a pretty chill dude.
He's very interesting because we're in Tunisia. He was hidden away, and we had at night, it was so hot, we had a table outside, and very quickly Ewan was there, Natalie Portman was there. Everybody joined in the table, and it was just very chilled. And then one day Liam sidled up and said, you're all having fun here. Do you mind if I join you? And so he came out of his shell, but he brought down bottles of wine, very beautiful wine, which he had cartons of sent to him so he could have that with him. But he was an interesting actor because, you know, George is famous for faster or slower or do it louder. He doesn't give that much direction, and I had to get Liam had to get on a I guess it was a Bantha, and I had him with green screen props walking along and everything. So I explained very carefully what I was going to have him do and how to do it and all this stuff. And he just said, it's very nice to work with a director who's not got his back to me looking at a monitor. Because he's an actor who needs explanation. He needs everything told him. But he's very chilled. And my son and my daughter then were young, and they had jobs on the film, and he adored my daughter. She used to take the food round to the actors and everything. And cool. He was, he's great, you know, and his presence as a Jedi is what fans think a Jedi should be. Do you know what I mean? He has that gravitas without having to act it.
Yes.
I loved working with him. I loved working with Ewan too.
Yeah. And speaking of lightsabers, like, I love the simplicity of Qui-Gon's lightsaber. Yeah. It's very simple, but with the red button, and it's to the point, and I love it. Yeah. Sorry, Kyber Force, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was just saying, I saw a podcast where Liam Neeson was on. He was talking about a story, and I was just kind of curious if you were on set for this, but he was talking about how when him and Ewan were first using their lightsabers, they actually were making the noises. And George had to keep telling him, you guys don't have to make the noises.
I had to do the same. And I had to do it mostly with Ewan. He was always doing it. I was always doing it. We'll put that in after. It's just like with Ewan, it was just such enthusiasm, you know. And he used to walk around the set when he first came in going, I'm in effing Star Wars. Telling everybody.
Well, it's crazy too, because, you know, obviously, you know, his uncle was in the original Star Wars. So like, was he like, okay, what was my uncle really like? You know, or you know what I mean? Like, that had to be kind of cool and weird at the same time, being like, this dude's uncle was in the original. Like,
yes, yeah. But they're both very cool. That's awesome. Everybody was, and Natalie. I mean, everyone.
Yeah.
I got to work with Terrence Stamp.
Darth Christensen says he loves the behind-the-scenes pic of Qui-Gon with that umbrella next to George. You know, he's got that.
Yes. It was hard. I mean, believe me, they Natalie and Liam couldn't take it. After lunch, they went home. Ewan could take it, and I had to stay. Our unit, we had so much work to do. We would get up at 4:30 in the morning, go out, grab something to eat, and the moment there was light enough to shoot, we shot as much as we could. And then this heat came, you know, and I've told the story many times that one day we said, well, we could fry an egg on R2-D2. We broke an egg on him, and it fried immediately. It was that hot.
Wow.
It was. Dang. Yeah, so it was fierce.
Yeah. Did that heat bring back any memories of your paratyphoid experience when you were?
Yes, when I got there, I went to the Tunisian producer and I said, listen, could you get me mint tea every day in a thermos? And he looked at me and said, wise man. And he brought me mint tea that he said his grandmother made, and from 2 different mint plants from 2 different areas in the mountains. Seeing the grips and the props, they laughed at me, you know, and they were drinking their ice cold Cokes and then beers and all this stuff. And I'm drinking this green mixture of liquid that I drank all the time. And the DP and I never, ever got sick once. They all went down. Everybody.
Wow.
And so I've learned my lessons working a lot in the heat, you know. And there is something about the mint takes heat out of your body, and it's very sweet. That's why they have no teeth out there, because they have more sugar than tea. But it works, and I was very careful what I ate. Very, very careful. You just go disciplined. George did, though you have to just be very careful. But it was different times. I mean, Mexico, when I got sick, it was pretty primitive out there.
Yeah.
And it was that heat as well. So, I mean, several of us got paratyphoid on Lucky Lady.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. And you don't think of it too, like, even like, so I deliver mail for a living, and in the summer, everybody wants to drink the super cold water, which I get. I love cold water. It's the worst. You want to drink room temperature water so it hits your body faster in your system and actually works.
Well, and also cold water, your body immediately tries to heat it up because it needs to get it up to the right temperature. And so you're just exacerbating how hot you're feeling.
Yes.
I mean, no one wants to do it, but it actually makes sense. And hot tea is the best thing.
Yeah.
See, I'm a hot coffee guy in the summer when it's really hot.
Yeah, so you're right.
I think hot liquids are way better in the summer than cold.
Me too. But I mean, it's America who spread the whole ice cold drinks to the world. That's all. Everybody's.
And I can't lie, I fall into that. I love ice on every drink I drink, but same. I got a bunch of ice in here right now with my water. So, oh man.
We didn't have that with the blue milk. That's true. I tell you, that grimace that Mark gives when he drinks it, because it took a lot of trying for me to make it, because I just thought, oh, milk, easy, milk and blueberries. It didn't work. It curdled and stuff, and I eventually found some color that I don't know how, but it would work. And that day when they shot that scene, I gave the instruction to my prop men, because I was always ahead of the unit, and I had to race to Jerba to get the sets ready. And so that grimace that Mark gives when he drinks that stuff, and milk is not very well known in Tunisia. They don't use it. Tea is mint tea. That's the standard. I've got a feeling they probably could only get camel's milk locally and stuck the coloring in, and that's what Mark had to drink. It's a good bit of acting.
Props for him not breaking character.
Yeah. But afterwards he says that was so disgusting.
Yeah.
How many takes did they make him do?
That I don't know. I wasn't there, but he probably didn't do many. I doubt it. George
awesome.
never did a lot. I mean, he would be 3 takes and off. So
my coworker says, good advice for us mailman, eh, Morgan? Absolutely. Yeah. Drink the lukewarm stuff. And the hot stuff. Don't drink the ice cold stuff.
Yeah, it is much better. Hard as it is, it's better.
Yeah. It is really hard though, right? Because that's all you want is the opposite of the hot, extreme hot. You want that ice cold, you think it's going to cool you down, but it really doesn't. It puts your body into overdrive.
No, they don't do that in these hot countries. So you have to learn from them. There's wise grandmothers out there who know what to do.
Yeah.
Firefighter here. I learned early on that coming out of a structure fire and drinking ice cold water and going back to work does not settle in the stomach.
Yeah. Right.
That just sounds rough.
Yeah, it does.
It hurts.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're super excited to have you at ICCC. We appreciate your time. I don't want to take up too much. I could sit here and talk forever. I know Michael could. I know all these guys could.
Yeah, I know. I got a dog waiting outside to be fed.
Right, my coworker
waiting to be fed. There's life goes on.
My coworker says I will die with cold water clenched into my fist. Okay, Raven. All right. I love it. So, thank you again, Roger. I'll let you go.
Oh, it's great to meet you all again.
Yes,
absolutely.
It'll be great in person. Yeah.
Yes,
Can't
absolutely. we can't wait to meet you and for your next Origin Saber. Before you get off here, if you want to tell everybody where they can find you and go follow you and keep up with things.
Yes, Instagram. It's just my name on Instagram. That's the main one. On Facebook, they're both my name. That's the easiest way.
Okay.
All the information's on there, and then there's a lot of interaction goes on with those. So I kind of stick to those two. And then part of this whole Forge, we will eventually start a YouTube channel properly and everything, and get all of that going. That's coming.
Well, that's cool.
Probably towards the end of the year, so that. Because there's so many stories to tell, and everybody wants me to do the audio live of the book, which
Cool.
I will.
Cool.
The publishers aren't interested in it, so I'm going to try to wrestle it out of their hands and then get that going. And I might do that on YouTube because it seems a better idea. People want quick fixes, and you can look at stuff when you're, driving. Although you shouldn't do that, but
right. Shouldn't, but I'm gonna. No, I'm just kidding. Funny.
So yeah, so I'm mostly on those two. They're the easiest. Instagram especially.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, guys, go follow Mr. Roger Christian to keep updated. Again, he'll be joining Star Wars Theory here at ICC Nashville, May 16th through the 18th. If you use, all have different codes here. Gazer 10, I think Nerd 10. If you use those two codes here, you'll get 10% off any kind of ticket, including VIP. If you are a veteran, they do offer veteran discounts, so use that. I think is it 20 or 25% off?
25%. It's active duty and retired veterans, and also first responders.
Cool.
Good for you. It's good.
Well, I appreciate it, gentlemen. This has been awesome. We can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, and thanks for the invite.
Yeah, I'll see you there, brother. It'll be nice to hang out.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again, too. We'll actually have some time to talk. It'll be good.
Yeah, because that was a bit mad up there.
Yeah.
It was mad up in May the North be with you. It was so busy, but it's a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this one too. You better work out your signing hand, because it's all the Star Wars nerds in the universe come to this one place, man. So they're all gonna know who you are. It's different than the other conventions, because you go to the other ones and not everybody's a fan of Star Wars. Some people like Pokemon. This is not like that.
No.
I make sure I put a load of photographs.
There you go.
Yes.
I don't know. I might get the publisher to send you down some books. I have to buy them off the publishers. I could send them to you.
Yeah, you told me. I gave you the address. You have the address to my wife's toy store down here. We'll take care of that. We've done it with Timothy's on in the past, so it's no big deal. We'll take care of it.
It can't carry anything anymore, and they're bloody heavy.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. We got that Southern hospitality thing going on. You're just going to have to pick one up from the floor and sign it. And then one up it'll be right at your table, sir. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll have a nice banner for you and everything. Anything you need, you let us know.
And I'm sure the three of us up top here will be bringing all of our books for you to sign. So,
sure, of course. Whatever.
Yep. Well,
there you go.
Absolutely. So thanks again. Thank you to everyone in here. Appreciate it. 76 days, guys. So go get your tickets now. Yes, we are. Thank you, everyone. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Bye.